Kettlebells Up Studio. I'm Lacey and we are in a 20-minute set today, which is going to cover total body with 2 kettlebells. This is the first class in this series that I've had you bring 2 different size kettlebells. You're gonna need a light to moderate one and one that is your kettlebell swing weight. We are going through kind of a cardio, but like a mild cardio class through 2 rounds of 30-second on, 30-second off intervals. So there isn't really a true warm-up. The warm-up's a little bit built in as we go. So I invite you the second round that we go through this, you can take up your personal intensity a little bit more. And if you have access to a lot of different weights, you can go ahead and keep those close. I'm gonna give you our movements as we go today because you've done pretty much all of them before. So this first 30-second interval, just make sure that you watch me and we'll do our moves together. So your first thing is gonna be an egg roll. So go ahead, come down onto your back with me and you're gonna push your elbows into your thighs into your elbows. And I want you just to take some rolls back and forth here. If that's a little too much, you're just gonna bring your arms up like this. We're gonna try to stay tight. Let's try it out for 30 seconds. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Our second movement after this is called weighted hip shifts. If you're doing this, by the way, and you're like, my back hates this, I want you to grab the backs of your legs and just hold yourself in a hollowed out position here. You can also stay on your back and take some out breaths, holding your hollow position with bent knees as an option, but try out those egg rolls. You've got 3, 2, and 1. You're just like a little egg rolling on the floor. We're gonna take weighted hip shifts next with your lighter bell. So remember our hip shifts. We have nice wide feet. We're gonna have the bell opposite of the way we're moving. We're gonna shift our hip back and then switch into our opposite hip. This is not a shift to the side. We're actually thinking of turning our hip behind us a bit. So when you have your kettlebell, you're just gonna move it towards the foot that is the same way that you're going. So it will be opposites. And we'll try it out together. So you should feel loading in your hip. Let's bring your bell up. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna reach that bell to the side and send our hip back. Chest is slightly up here. Your gaze can be slightly down with your chin in a neutral position. As you're looking down towards your toes, make sure they're in one line. So one leg is not further back than the other. And you can kind of practice holding this back position if you're not quite sure how this should feel. You can't really mess it up. Just think of hip going back as you switch. It should start to feel natural. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Our next set, we're gonna take high knees. For 10 seconds, we're gonna go level 1, which is kind of small high knees, slower arms. Then we're gonna take the intensity up to a level 2, which is a little bit more. Then we're gonna go full sprint, level 3. You have this for 30 seconds, so I'm gonna tell you when to make those switches. So think of it kind of like a walk to a jog to a sprint, and I'll cue you as we go. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So this should be elbows going back, little lifts of your knees, just kind of little patterns on the ground of your feet. When we start moving a little faster, your knees will go a little higher. Your hands are gonna come up a little higher, elbows back a little more. 3, 2, and 1. So you're just gonna pick up the pace a bit. As you breeze through this, we're gonna hit a full sprint in 3, 2, and 1. So fingertips are pointing up, elbows back, knees reaching. I'm going as fast as I can for 3, 2, and 1. There you go, heart rate up. Next up, we have a 90-degree goblet clean to, just a 90-degree goblet clean, sorry. We're gonna build on this in the next set. So you use your lighter weight bell. You're gonna try to clean it and catch it about the profile of your eyes. So you wanna catch it a little higher than at your chest. You can go with your heavy bell here if you feel comfortable with these, or you can go with your lighter bell for this one. This is kind of the last one on the little warm-up section as we move through our stuff. Okay, here we go. Clock is on 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna come down, clean, and bring that bell nice and high. So my elbows are staying at about a 90-degree angle as the bell comes up. I can also lift my heels off the floor as I go up, especially if my bell is kind of heavy on this one. Really use your hips. Think about the bell effortlessly flying up because of the speed of your hips. You've got 3, 2, and 1. So next up, we've got a goblet clean to squat with an optional weighted jump squat. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna come into my position, hit my goblet clean, drop to a squat, and then an optional jump squat. When I come down, I'm already there to execute that whole thing again. So we're gonna try to combine the goblet clean and the squat. The jump squat is optional here, so if that feels a little overwhelming for you, if your weight's really heavy for you, just go ahead, take that out. You're gonna try to drop into your squat as you clean. Modification is to clean and then squat. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So level 1 would be here, clean, squat. Level 2 would be goblet clean to catching at the bottom of the squat. And then level 3 would be goblet clean, squat, squat jump, land at the bottom. Try doing that again. That's gonna give you a nice big burn here. As always, you can use your lighter bell or go with your heavier bell if you've really got those hops in you today. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Okay, kettlebell swings are coming up next. We're gonna go regular 2-hand swings, and I want you to try to take a rep count of 5, 4, and then 3. Bella's going to rest on the floor for just a second or 2 in between those rep sets. So it is about 12 reps in that 30-second time frame. You should have enough time to finish it. You will get your 30 seconds to rest after you finish your sets of swings. So let's go ahead and try it out. Clock is on here. 3, 2, and 1. So it's 5 swings. Bell comes down to the floor for just a second. I sit back, try to hit my 4. Bell comes down to the floor for just a second. I sit back, try to hit my 3. Good, guys. Bell comes down. You have just about 10 seconds to rest before we hit our actual rest break. Use this rest break here to catch your breath, because in our next set, we're going to go with a goblet hold march. So I want you to pick up your big bell. You're gonna hold it at your chest, and we're just going to take alternating marches here, trying to stand up as tall as we can. You don't wanna lean forward. You don't wanna shoot your hips forward. I want you to try to make these marches powerful. If you've got it in you, you're gonna hold that bell up, and I want you to kind of rebound your feet from the floor in that march, sort of like the feels of a pogo hop, but without the jumping. So we're gonna bring our bell to our chest. This one can be deceptively challenging for 30 seconds, especially with a bigger bell. Let's go ahead and hit it in 3, 2, and 1. So bell comes up to the chest. So I would kind of take these nice rebound marches, and notice that my knee is pulling up and I'm still getting a nice flex in my foot. You are halfway there. You got to push into the bell. It's normal if your biceps and your arms and your shoulders are starting to feel this one right about now. Keep pushing into the floor. If you need a little slower, you can just step down, raise, step fully down. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes off to the side. Take a little break. After this, we have alternating hinged rows. So we're gonna bring out our lighter weight bell, come into our hinge position. We'll take 1 row, pass the bell to the other side, row to the other side. Very important that you hold your hinge, keep your core secure, and do not round your lower back in this one. So let's go ahead, bring the bell directly under you. We're gonna take our strong hinge position and get ready to pull that bell back. We've got 3, 2, and 1. So let's stand here, bells between the feet. We're going to hold it on the front of the handle, pull, pass to the other hand. Try not to do this with your gaze. You wanna look slightly down so your chin stays neutral. You can kinda get a little move in this one, so you can get some movement, moving the body a little bit by bending the knees slightly down. Just watch your nails, watch your hands. Make sure you get a nice grip on your belly. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Our next movement is an alternating reverse lunge to a chop. This is what it looks like. Watch here. So I'm gonna come back into my reverse lunge, chop as I stand. Back into my reverse lunge, chop as I stand. You're gonna alternate your side each time. The bell will start at the hip that does not have, the back hip I should say. You do not have to do this with a bell if this feels too heavy for you. So if you try it, you're like, nope, just do body weight. I'll show you that here. So we're gonna go 3, 2, and 1. So I'm gonna step back, bell is at this hip. I'm gonna chop and step forward. You can keep it up there and you can bring it down, or you're gonna bring it down, then step back, chop again. Bring it down, step back, chop. Bring it down, step back, chop. You might need to do this a little bit your first round to get the motion here of it. So it's back hip, above the knee. Back hip, above the knee. You should feel a lot in your core in this one. You've got 3, 2, and 1. My apologies for this last one before we do the whole thing again. You've got some half burpees. These are burpees without the drop and the push-up. If you know how to do a good full burpee, you're amazing. You can take those, but we're gonna slow this one down a little bit and go hands down, jump back, jump to a squat, stand. That's where we're gonna take this one for the next 30 seconds. If you can execute the full thing with your chest dropping to the floor, and you know how to do that, you're more than welcome. Here we go for the half. 3, 2, and 1. So hands down, feet jump back, I land in a plank, feet jump forward, I drop my butt, stand. So it's just like doing a wide stance squat. I'm trying to think of getting this little booty drop before I stand up. See if you can do that, because if you can do that, you're not gonna feel this in your lower back. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just like that, we are in our egg rolls round 2. If you've got that bony tailbone like I do, you can take one of those variations as long as you're in a hollow position and you're breathing. Egg rolls, I want you to get really tight and try to execute that rolling from your core. We have one more round through this, and then we are finished, my friends, with this one. Almost through, doing such a great job with this. Okay, let's go ahead, come down to the floor. We've got 3, 2, and 1. It really works well if you think of pushing your elbows into your thighs, and you can come all the way up like this. If they're smaller, all good. You're gonna get a little bit of a foam roll on your back too. I notice my right side of my back's a little tighter than my left, and this feels kind of nice on that. Try to push your feet together, maybe keep them flexed, maybe hold at the top for a second or two. 3, 2, and whoo! Automatically feel your abs in that one. Let's get into our weighted hip shifts. Second set here. Oh my goodness. Remember, as long as your toes are in line, you're shifting into your hip, sending it back, you're doing this one right. So let's try it out together. Go ahead, pick up your kettlebell or put it underneath you so you're ready to pick it up. We're gonna go opposite hand towards the side that you're moving to. Remember that. A little contralateral hold versus the direction that we're moving our butt. Okay, let's go 3, 2, and 1. So I got into my left, I move to the right. I shift and land in my left. The bell is in the opposite hand. So right hand, left hip, left hand, right hip. I can feel myself really grounding down through that stable leg side, getting my hip back, feeling all the weight of that kettlebell in my body, being absorbed into that single side. Again, you can practice this without the kettlebell if you're feeling like you need to get the motion down first. You've got 3, 2, and 1. High knees. I just realized I wore the absolute worst sports bra top for this particular class because we have jumping, we have movement. Didn't think through the program before that, but if your girls are flying around like mine are, just go with it today. That's part of life. So we have our high knees. We call these gear 1, gear 2, gear 3. So we're going for that walk, the jog, and then the sprint, or I guess you could say jog, run, sprint. Let's go for our jog. 3, 2, and 1. So they're just small. We're still thinking of rebounding from the floor like we did in the march. Let's start picking up the pace to our run. 3, 2, and 1. A little more. Still thinking of getting the knees up a little higher than they were in that first part. Elbows back a little more. Full sprint in 3, 2, and 1. Really pumping those arms, pushing down the floor, lifting those knees. Fingertips can point up. 3, 2, and 1. Whew! I think my voice cracked and my ponytail fell out after those. Let's go ahead, rest for about 20 seconds here. We're gonna take our goblet clean, or sorry, 90-degree goblet cleans next. So pick up that heavy bell if you felt pretty good with your light one. Maybe try these with the heavier. I definitely think if you're in this class today, you got this. Okay, so stand over your bell. Let's go ahead, get ready for our goblet clean. 2, that 90-degree hold position. 3, 2, and 1. There we go. So I definitely have to use my hips and lift my heels a little more to lift this 18 kilo versus the 12 kilo that I used in the first round. You have to use your hips to go heavier, and that's part of why this fast-paced hip drive is so valuable for weightlifting and just athleticism in general. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Goblet clean to a squat. Goblet clean, dropping to a squat. Goblet clean, dropping to a squat, and then doing a weighted squat jump because that's so much fun, right? I'm gonna get some burning quads with you guys. Let's try this with my heavy bell today. Go down and wait. If you're like, I wanna try this variation, but I'm a little scared of that big bell, do it with the lighter one a few times, see how it feels. Here we go, clock is on 3, 2, and 1. So you can't second guess yourself. You're gonna go clean, drop, then jump. Stay down there for a second. Get ready for your clean, clean, drop, straight up. You're really gonna feel the burn in your thighs here. Clean, drop, straight up. Keep moving, guys. You have less than 10 seconds in this one. You have more than enough time to get 1 rep, maybe 2 reps of this full thing. Swings are coming up next. 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes down. Let's get out that big bell for your kettlebell swings. 5, 4, 3 is your magic number. And then you get 30 seconds to rest. I told you this one will definitely get your heart rate up. Shake your legs out a little bit. We have goblet hold marches coming up after the swings. Final set of everything here in this 20-minute class today. Whew, oh my goodness. Sometimes these nonstop classes, just the way the program's structured is the cardio because you don't get a lot of breaks. Let's get your swings. 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes down, I relax, shake the legs out. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take your 4 reps, take your 3 reps. You actually have this full interval. You don't necessarily have to complete them in the 30 seconds. So right here is about 22 seconds, but you technically still have that rest interval. So if I needed a little more time between rep counts 4 or 3, or just to stand up for a second, I definitely can take that. Here we have 20 seconds until your goblet hold marches. You're gonna keep your bell heavy. You can go a little lighter if you need to for this one. I don't know what I'm doing, moving the heavy one away. We're gonna pick that one up with you guys. After this, keep your light bell close for your alternating hinged rows. Okay, goblet marches are first. Remember, fast, or they can just be normal and a little slower. 3, 2, and 1. So we're either rebounding, or maybe we're lift, lower, lift, lower, rebound, lift, lower, lift, lower. Squeeze your hands into the bell. It's less than 10 strong seconds here. If you're rebounding, push a little harder into the floor, make it a little louder. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Bell comes off to the side, alternating hinged rows are coming up next. We're gonna go ahead and bring your bell into position. We'll pull that bell back, find your hinge, and get ready to pass that thing back and forth. This is a good class to keep on deck if you kind of have limited equipment for sure, and you wanna just do something to get your heart rate up. A really great way to get some cardiovascular work here. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and pick that bell up and take your row. We do finish with those burpees today, which I realize is kind of cruel, but it just is what it is. Watch that you don't hit your hip bone, but try to move your wrist back to your hip. If this feels a little too much, you can take a little pause in the middle to switch and then hold it. Just slow your reps down a little bit. Finish it out strong here. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Final minute of work between your burpees, which come up second, and these alternating reverse lunges with the chop, which I feel like these are one of those kind of soul-stealing things until you get the groove of it. Again, if your bell is too heavy for this, do it with body weight. Just kind of pretend like you're raising it up there. You can practice these with a lighter weight if you have one, and just make sure that your weight feels doable for you. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So I step back, and then I come up, chop, pull it down. Step back, come up, chop, pull it down. So you can kind of use the momentum of stepping up in your lunge to help you execute that chop. So think about as you push that front foot, this is helping you to lift yourself and lift that weight. So it might make the weight feel just a little bit easier. Almost there, guys. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You made it to your final set in this class today. Half or full burpees. If you want like a blast from the past, because burpees feel so like 2010 to me, I don't know why. Probably because I don't do CrossFit regularly, but if you're a CrossFitter, they probably are very relevant to you. They're fun sometimes to do. I just think like you have to have that hip mobility to get yourself into that position, so that's why they can be a little problematic sometimes, but I still love them for a heart rate elevator. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. So hands down, feet back here. This is where if you roll up like this, low back hates you. But if you come down, drop that booty, land in that squat position before you stand, so you're not absorbing all that with your low back. You got it. We're only here for a few more seconds, guys. Finish out these last few reps. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Congratulations, guys. You made it through this class. I think in our previous class, I actually mentioned this out of order, but after this class, you should have 2 more left to go if you're following the program. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, correction. So, heart rate should be up. I hope you guys do something for yourself today. Take 5 minutes after this class to let yourself normalize, drink some water, connect to your bod. You guys just did some great work for your heart and your health in this Bells Up Studio 20-minute session. Remember, get real, get strong, and get your bells up. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.